Guys, so we're going to start seated today. So just come to sit near the top of your mat. You might like to sit up onto a cushion or onto a block. And you don't need to sit cross-legged. You can just sit however is comfortable for you so that you can find a nice tall spine. So before we begin, I just want to really thank you for your support of Banteay Srey. During this difficult time, obviously the spa is closed, so we're unable to generate the usual revenue to pay the trainees. So any donations in exchange for this class that you're able to offer are so gratefully received. 100% of what you give will go directly to the women and girls of Banteay Srey. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more, then the link is in the Banteay Srey Instagram bio. And there's a whole heap of information about the project and what we're fundraising for. And then if you feel that you're able to, then you can donate as little or as much as you like. Thank you so much. So just finding your comfortable seat here, as I said, whatever position is comfortable for you. Get nice and tall through your spine. So imagine that there's a string attached to the top of your head. Lift the crown of your head up towards the sky so your chin humbles in and down slightly. Close your eyes. And just start to tune into your breath. Notice the sensation of the air as it flows in and out through the nostrils. Notice the movement of your belly, of your chest. And see whether you can notice the slight pause that most of us have at the top of the inhale and at the bottom of the exhale. And today I invite you to enjoy the pause. So much of the world right now has slowed down. Our human nature in these times of pause sometimes is to reflect, which is not always a bad thing. Or often it is to anticipate what is coming next. But in this practice of yoga, we're always trying to come back to the now, to the present moment. And I find that this pause between or within the cycle of breath is a really good anchor point for the mind. So we'll take a few rounds of breath together. I'll be counting an inhale and an exhale for the count of 4, with a 1 second pause at the top and at the bottom. So just finish the round of the breath that you're on. And we'll begin. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold. 3 more rounds on your own here. Knowing that you can extend this count if you like, a little bit longer on the inhale and the exhale. Enjoying the pause. Whenever you feel ready, just let go of that count, come back to your natural breath. And just notice any subtle changes that may have come into the breath, your body, your mind. And knowing that we're about to move, try not to anticipate. Just simply be here, in this moment. And if your eyes are closed, gently open them. Take a big inhale, arms sweep out wide towards the sky, all the way up. And exhale out the mouth. Simply let the arms fall back down beside you. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. Any movements you need. And then we'll come to meet in 4-point kneeling, tabletop position. So however you're seated, just unravel your legs, remove any props, and come over onto hands and knees. So set up your tabletop here, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, toes are untucked. Take a breath in, lift your heart, lift your gaze, tailbone lifts. Exhale, round your spine, tailbone descends, chin to chest. Press the middle of your back up towards the sky. 2 more rounds. Inhale, drop the belly, shoulders away from your ears. And exhale, really press your palms down into the mat. Final time, move with your own breath, in your own time. Just waking up through the spine. And then as you feel ready, refinding your neutral tabletop position. Extend your right hand out in front as if you're about to shake someone's hand. Sorry, just stack this left wrist underneath your shoulder. Mine was a little bit too far forward. Right hand extends. Now extend your left foot all the way towards the back of your mat. And just be careful of opening this left hip up. Draw the left hip down in line with the right. And draw your belly up and in towards your spine. Take a breath in, reach a little bit further. As you exhale, squeeze your right elbow to your left knee, chin to chest. 3 more times. Inhale, extend and reach. And then exhale, squeeze everything in towards the midline. Inhale, reach and extend. Exhale, squeeze. So we're turning on the core here, lighting up through the midsection. 1 final time. Reach as far as you can. And then exhale, squeeze everything in. Hold here for 3, 2, 1, and then extend out. Stay in this extended position. This time we're going to make movements out towards the side. So your right hand will go to the right, your left foot will go to the left. And then come back through center. You can stop at center or you can allow the arm and the leg to cross over a little bit into the opposite direction. But keep the core engaged, belly to spine, middle of your body stay still. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, come out. Exhale, cross over. Inhale out. And exhale, cross. So we're getting into the glute med here. You might start to feel a little bit of burn. That's good. Keep the engagement through the core. 1 more time out to the side. And exhale, come back through center. Take 1 more breath in, reach as far as you can. And then exhale, reset. Hand under shoulder, knee underneath the wrist. You might want to give yourself just a little bit of a wiggle, shake that out. Second side. So make sure again, alignment of this right wrist underneath the right shoulder, left hand reach forward, right foot back. Really draw your belly in here. Make sure that that right hip is level with the left. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, squeeze in, chin to chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those abs. 2 more, inhale for length. And exhale, draw it in. Final time, inhale. See if you can reach a little bit further each time. Squeeze and hold. Squeeze it in for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, extend. Now you know where we're going. Out to the side, so straight into it. Inhale. And then exhale to the middle or cross it over a little bit. Inhale, open up. And exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Final time. Squeeze just to the middle this time, then take a breath in, find as much length as you can, and then exhale, reset. Once again, maybe give yourself just a little bit of a shake out there. And I've got a little bit of a challenge for you, but just know that the goal is simply to come up to stand. So however you want to come to stand up, it's all good. If you'd like a little bit of a challenge, tuck your toes underneath you. Walk your hands back towards your knees and then use your core to lift your knees up. Keep walking your hands back. So toes quite close together here. Squeeze your ankles together. See whether you can draw your torso up as your thighs come parallel to the mat, hands come to heart. Really squeeze your ankles and your thighs together. Zip up the legs. Take a breath in. Breath out, come up off your heels just an inch. Hover. Now come up to stand really slow. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay on tiptoes, reach all the way up. And then exhale, heels and arms come down. Take a stroll to the top of your mat. Find Tadasana, so your feet can be hip distance or big toes touch, little gap in the heels. Hands relax beside you. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. And just enjoy this moment of stillness. Once again, you're anticipating letting go of what we just did, how your legs are feeling. Just simply be here in your mountain pose. And then if your eyes are closed, open them, bring your hands onto your hips. Bend your right knee and swing your right leg out towards the side. So we're coming for tree. You can rest the foot on the inner seam of the calf or bring it a little bit higher, but just try not to have the foot resting onto the knee joint. So find your tree, frontal hip points face forward. And have your hands on your hips here for a little bit of feedback. Just make sure that you're nice and level through the hips and the pelvic bowl. Descend your tailbone down towards your left heel. Find that engagement through the core. And then once you feel steady, firm foundation, you can lift your arms up if you like. You can have any variation with the arms here. What kind of tree are you today? I'm actually looking at a weeping willow tree right now outside my window, so maybe that would look a bit like this. And just know that trees can only grow as tall as their roots go deep. So keep pressing through all 4 corners of your standing foot. The toe tips are nice and light, not over gripping the mat. Press your right foot into your left leg back into the right foot. And remember to breathe. Now without touching your right toes down, if you can, simply bring your right knee out in front at a 90-degree angle. Now start to reach your hands forward. So imagine that you're holding a big beach ball here and you're going to pass it to someone in front. Start to kick your right foot all the way towards the back. Reach forward as your foot kicks back and then drop your right toes down, coming for a runner's lunge. Sweep your arms along beside you. So really press off your right toes here. Imagine that I've placed a block on your right hamstring and you're trying to drive it up towards the sky. So super strong in that back leg. Activity through the fingers, switch on your triceps. And find a little bit of broadness through the collarbones. So squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Draw this left hip back slightly and draw your belly up and in. There we go. Breathing, not thinking how long are we going to be here for. Feel the sensation in your legs, feel the breath. And then bring your hands to heart center, tilt your body forward, twist towards your left. So hook your right elbow to the outside of that left leg and really press the palms of your hands together to open up the chest. Roll your right shoulder underneath you, left shoulder comes back. You can always drop the back knee down to the mat if this is too much. Keep your legs exactly as they are. Simply lift your torso upright, so you keep facing the same direction. Lift up, extend your arms, so you're in a twisted lunge. Reach your back arm back. Just one more breath here. Now once again, keep your legs exactly as they are. Start to pivot your torso to face the opposite direction, so you're going like a revolving door. Drop your back heel down, warrior two. Now if your left glute is screaming at you, mine is, just take a moment here to straighten the leg, feel a little bit of release, and then come back down, find your warrior two. So warrior two, your back foot is roughly parallel to the back edge of the mat, but the shape of everyone's hips is different. So find your footing, press the back edge of that back foot down, front knee over the top of the ankle. Can you bend a little deeper? Imagine you could reach both sides of the room with your fingertips, really reach back as well as reaching forward. And just breathe. If you like a little bit of extra challenge for the last 2 breaths, you can lift up your front heel coming onto the ball of the front foot. Keep the bend in the knee. If you have the heel lifted, simply ground it, straighten the legs slow, enjoy the release, hands to hips, then turn both of your toes to face towards the right side of your mat. So you stay exactly where you are. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me a little bit better. You're in this wide-legged position. Now bring both heels in so that your toes face out. Bend your knees. Coming for goddess pose. So just keep your hands on your hips for a moment. See whether you can tilt these frontal hip points up towards your lower ribs. Tailbone descends, core switched on. Now arms come up and out into a cactus. Press your elbows back to open your heart. Sit down a little deeper. You're pressing your knees away from each other. Imagine that you could rip the mat in half with your heels. Sit down. I know it's burning, I can feel it too, don't worry. Smiling helps, breathing definitely helps. Now extend your arms out to the side. Keep your bum nice and low, simply hinge at the hips, bringing your torso parallel to the ground. Press the tops of your hands up towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Make sure your belly is drawing up and in. Couple more breaths here. Bring your hands to your hips slowly, slower than you want to. Straighten those legs, press through the heels to come all the way up. And then simply heel toe your back foot a little bit closer towards your front foot until you can turn and come back to stand at the top of the mat. Second side, tree, bend through your left knee, swing it out towards the side. Now isolate this movement through the hips, so don't go swinging off towards the left. Frontal hip points face forward, just open through the knee, place the foot any height. Staying neutral through the pelvis, draw your tailbone down towards your back heel. Find your foundation, light through the toe tips. And then any variation with the arms. You can be a different type of tree on this side if you like. Enjoying this moment of grounding. Sending the roots of your tree deep into the earth. Maybe feeling your heart space lift up towards the sky. Okay. Once again, challenge is to not drop your left toes down. Simply bring your left knee up in front 90 degrees. You're holding onto this giant beach ball again. It's not really beach weather here, but I can dream. Reach forward, kick the leg back. Resist the urge to tap the toes down. Really extend, bend the front knee, and then come into your lunge. Arms flow alongside you. Hands can always come to the hips or heart center if that feels more accessible. Draw your right hip back, belly's in, tailbone descending to back heel. So you're creating this really long line of energy from your back heel all the way out through the crown of your head. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And you bring even more strength into your left leg. Really fire it up here. That's going to take some of the pressure out of your front glute. Hands float to heart. Tilt your body forward 45 degrees and then twist over towards your right side. Hook your left elbow. So as you twist, sometimes there's a tendency to drop down or lose some of the strength in that back leg. So keep pressing through that left hamstring. Lift your left hip up. Really press the palms, but open your chest up towards the side. Keep your legs as they are, keep facing towards the right. Simply lift your torso up and extend your arms and reach. Reach back with the right hand. Chest is nice and bright here. Legs stay as they are, your revolving door coming to face the left side. Ground the back heel down. Warrior two, once again, chance to straighten through this front leg. Just for a moment, take a breath. And then find your warrior two. Often we lean forward in this pose, so I want you to really reach back through your left fingertips. Try to bring your shoulders over the top of your hips. Pressing down through the back edge of the back foot. Have a little look down at your front knee. If it's caving inwards, don't twist through the knee, simply draw your right hip back into the socket. And if your face has got all serious, just see if you can soften. Soften the shoulders. Final two breaths. Option to lift the heel if you like. Okay, drop that heel down if it's lifted. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten the front leg. Both toes face towards the left. Don't worry, I won't make you do goddess again this time. Bring your heels out slightly so that your toes face gently in. Draw your tailbone down towards the ground. Inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale, hinge at the hips, wide-legged forward fold. So as you come down, you might realize you'd like to step a little bit wider, especially if you have quite long legs. So take your time to get set up. Find some length, come onto fingertips. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. So it doesn't matter if your hands are not down on the ground. You could always place blocks. You could rest your hands onto your legs. If you do have your hands down on the ground, see whether you can walk your heels, the heels of your hands back in line with the heels of your feet. Squeeze your elbows towards each other as if you're doing a push-up. And then everyone drop your head down. Tilt the weight forward slightly into the balls of the feet. Drive the sit bones higher towards the sky. Wherever your hands are in space, bring them underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in, find expansion through the front of the chest, halfway lift. And as you exhale, simply walk your hands around to frame your front foot. Pivot both sets of toes to face forward and drop your back knee down. So if your knee's a little bit sensitive, you could always place a cushion or a towel underneath this knee. We won't be here for too long. Untuck the back toes. Inhale, reach your hands up, low lunge. As you exhale, press your hips forward to access the stretch in the hip flexor. Couple of breaths here. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Now you can keep your back knee grounded, or option to come into crescent lunge. So retuck the back toes, lift your knee up. And then two options with the arms here. You can either cactus the arms like we did earlier, press the elbows back. Or you might like to clasp your hands behind your back, press the heel of the hand together and draw your hands down towards your back foot to open your chest a little bit towards the sky. Back leg can be straight or a little bend in the knee just to neutralize through the pelvis. Heart is cracking open. Wherever your hands are, reach them back up towards the sky. Maybe a little baby back bend here, really lift the heart. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Drop your back knee down, untuck the toes, and then send your hips back. So coming for a stretch in that right hamstring, maybe walk your hands a little bit closer to you. Fingertips down, inhale, lift your heart forward, and then exhale to fold. Our hands could be on blocks here if that helps. Your front foot could be grounded or lift the toes back towards the face. Maybe just experiment and see where you get a deeper stretch. Everyone draw your right hip slightly back. Yeah. Drop your head down, allow the back of your neck to soften. And then start to bend through your front knee, walk your hands forward. Tuck your back toes under, lift your knee. Put a little spring into that back leg, simply step forward. Forward fold. Let your head go. Hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift, find length through the spine. And then exhale, bend your knees, fingertips come down. Send your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Drop your back knee, untuck the toes. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, press your hips forward. Soften your shoulders. Soften your face. Draw your left hip back. So there's a bit of a scissoring action with the legs here. Imagine that you're drawing your left heel back towards your right knee. Once again, option to keep your back knee grounded or tuck the toes. Lift up, press your right hamstring up towards the sky. And then cactus the arms, press back or reach around, interlace. Try and interlace the awkward way, different thumb on top this time. And press your hands towards your back foot if you're taking that option. Wherever you are, really open your heart up towards the sky. Remember, your back knee could still be down here. This acts as a little bit of a different stretch. Wherever your arms are, reach them up, maybe a little upper back bend, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And then bring your hands down, frame your front foot, drop your back knee down and tuck your toes, send your hips towards the back of the mat. Maybe your hands come with you. And then again, just check in, foot can be grounded or flex your ankle, toes towards the shin. Draw your left hip back. Take an inhale just to lengthen, open your heart. And then exhale, fold. A little bend in this knee is totally fine. Just make whatever shape you need to find the stretch through your hamstring, maybe a little bit into the IT band down the side of the leg. Relax your head, relax your jaw. And bend into your front knee, walk your hands forward, tuck your back toes, lift your right knee, little spring into that back leg to come forward, forward fold, hands to shins, inhale, halfway lift, shoulders away from ears, expand, and exhale, fold. So I want you to fold here as much as you can to bring your belly onto your thighs. So notice how much of a bend in my knees I have. So don't worry about straight legs, maybe you're super open in your hamstrings, but we're looking for belly to thighs here. Your hands can stay grounded, or option to wrap your arms around your legs. So you might be clasping opposite elbows here, maybe just wrists, hands, fingertips. Whatever you have, just get a little bit of a grip here, then inhale, look slightly forward, open your chest. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Really let the back of your head go. Press your knees a little bit back into your arms here. Shoot your tailbone higher towards the sky so the weight is coming forward slightly into your toes. Notice whether your knees have caved in. Can you press your knees out so that they're tracking over your second and third toe? If you have the bind of the arm, simply let this go and take a few fluid movements, maybe sway from side to side, just whatever feels good. Might feel good to shake out your head, no, nod it yes. And then hands to shins, inhale, lengthen forward, belly to spine. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms down, step your right foot back. Step your left foot back, coming for plank. So your knees can go down to the mat straight away or stay up onto your toes. We're just going to hold plank for a couple more breaths. Drive your heels towards the back of the mat. Really press into your hands, dome up between the shoulder blades. Gaze is ever so slightly forward here. One more breath. And then we're going to come down to the mat, really slow for a count of 6. So you choose, knees stay lifted or knees come down. Shift your weight forward if you're on your toes. Down we come for 6, 5, 4, 3, or halfway. Can you pause? Lower for 2, and 1, all the way down. You might need to shuffle back slightly if your face has come off your mat. And then bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and then walk them back even more. So heel of your hand comes down below, down beside your low ribs. Squeeze your elbows in. Press the tops of your feet down so much that your knees lift up. Zip your inner legs together. Inhale, lift your heart, baby cobra. So notice that my chin is not jutting out. Gaze doesn't need to be forward here. Draw your chin in, gaze towards the top of your mat to feel length through the back of your neck. Squeeze your elbows together. One more inhale. And exhale, lower down. This time, bring your fingertips off the edge of your mat, hands at shoulder height. Come up onto little domed fingertips, little spider fingers. Press the tops of your feet, switch your legs on, switch your glutes on, press your fingertips, inhale, lift your heart. You can come up a little bit higher this time. Still keep the length through the back of the neck. Couple of breaths. You can stay in stillness. Sometimes it feels really nice to sway a little bit from side to side here, but just be gentle. Feel into your body. One more inhale to lift, and then exhale all the way down. Just one final back bend. If that's enough, you can just stay lying down on your front. If you'd like to take one more back strengthener, hands come beside you. Press your hands down. Forehead is down. I'm just lifting up so you can hear me. Press your hands down a lot. Imagine that you could drag your mat towards your face with your hands. Inhale, lift your chest up. Remember, long through the back of your neck, press your feet, lift your chest a little bit higher. And now lift your feet. Keep pressing your hands into the mat as if you're dragging the back of your mat forward. And then final 2 breaths, if you'd like to, you can lift your hands. Really squeeze your inner thighs together, switch on your glutes. Keep breathing. Give me a smile. Sadly, I can't see you. And then slowly lower all the way down. Place your right ear onto your mat. Look towards the left. Take some deep breaths. Give your hips a little bit of movement from side to side. And then bring your forehead back down to the mat. Hands underneath shoulders. Press yourself back. Wide knee child's pose. Knees as wide as your mat. Toes together. Bum down onto your heels. Your arms can stretch forward if your forehead can come all the way to the mat, or stack your hands underneath your forehead. Just support your head here. Feel gravity pulling your hips down onto your heels, stretching out through the back. Maybe roll your forehead from side to side. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. And wherever your hands are, make sure they're back out in front. And then walk your hands towards you to bring your torso all the way up. Bring your hands a little bit behind you, lift your bum up. Off your heels, tilt your tailbone forward. Sit back down onto your heels. Just lean back into your hands. Keep pressing your shin bones down into the ground. Imagine you could really drive your tailbone forward, and maybe you come down onto elbows. So you're just looking to stretch out through the quads here. They've done a lot of good work for you. If you know you can come safely all the way down to the ground and then safely come back out again, then feel free. We're only here for a couple more breaths. Keep pressing the shin bones down. Remember, this is not a back bend. You're just looking for this quad stretch, maybe a bit into the hip flexors and the ankles. If you're all the way down or you're on your elbows, come back up onto your hands. Press yourself all the way up, hands come down in front. Now, yogi's choice, it might feel really good to take a downward facing dog here, or you can simply drive one heel back at a time to stretch out through the backs of the legs. So your choice, downward facing dog is there for you if you need. And then finding either downward facing dog or tabletop, extend your right foot back and up, and then bring your right knee behind your right wrist. Your right ankle comes towards your left wrist, but don't be obsessed with getting it there. The shin doesn't need to be parallel. And then walk your left foot back. Left leg really nice and long and straight behind you. Come up on fingertips. Inhale, lift your heart. Notice whether there's a space between your right glute and the ground. If you've got something to support you, just prop yourself up there. Just helps to keep your hips square and protect this knee joint. If you have any pain in the knee, please don't do this pose. You could do thread the needle on your back. That's the figure 4 shaped glute stretch. If you feel safe, then you can start to bring yourself forward and down towards the ground. And resting your forehead down to hands or onto a prop. Now imagine you could send your breath into your right hip and your right glute, using the breath to create more space. And just enjoying this stillness. Listen to your hands, bring your torso back upright. If you have a prop here, just move it out to the side. Tuck your back toes under, lift your right knee up and in. Again, you can step back to down dog if you like, or tabletop. So there's two options are here for you. Do what feels best for you. And then from whichever position you're in, extend your left foot back. And then draw your left knee towards your left wrist. Left ankle towards right wrist. Really walk your right foot back as far as you can go. Make sure it's nice and straight. Once again, supporting yourself if you need to. Taking a different variation of a hip or glute stretch if you feel any pain in this knee. Lift your heart up. And then come all the way down if that feels good for you. The trouble with these Instagram classes is that I can't see you, so you really need to tune into your body, take care of yourself, and it's actually pretty awesome for your practice. I think it helps you to get to know your body a little bit better. Bringing your attention once more to the breath, maybe noticing that pause again at the top of the inhale, the bottom of the exhale. In this space where it feels like nothing is happening. It's a space of pure potential. Infinite possibility. Press into your hands, slowly come up. Move the prop if it's there. Tuck your back toes under. Use your core to draw this knee in, and once again tabletop or your final downward facing dog if that feels good, to stretch out through the backs of the legs. Taking down dog, come back to tabletop, and then simply come to sit down onto your heels, swing your legs out, around, in front, to sit upright with your legs out, extended. Take a deep breath in, sweep your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, fold forward and down over the legs, so only here for one full cycle of breath. Take an inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, let it go. Now stay low, start to curl through your spine slightly up and back. Bring your elbows back behind you while lowering all the way down to the ground. Move nice and slowly. Lower yourself all the way down. Take a big stretch here, send your hands and your feet out in opposite directions. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. You might like to rock from side to side or make some circles with your knees. Massage out through your lower back. Leave your knees bent into your chest. Extend your arms out beside you in a capital T. Simply allow your knees to drop over towards the right. If your knees don't reach the floor, great place for your blocks, your books, cushions. You can let your knees hang, or you can bring your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Not really a pulling, just allowing the gravity, the weight of that right hand and arm to assist you in coming into the twist. Left shoulder heavy towards the mat. Find a little bit more length through your left side, so draw your left hip down and away from you. See how that changes the sensation in the shape. Just one more breath. If you have the grip of the right hand, simply let it go. Bring your knees all the way back through center. Give yourself another squeeze in the middle. And then arms come out wide, knees to the left. And all the same options on the side, remembering we're never symmetrical, so this side could be totally different. Use any props you need, use your hand or not. Just do what feels good, finding that length through the right side body, right hip draws down towards your heels, soften your shoulders, close your eyes. You have your left hand on your right thigh, simply release, draw your knees into center, one final hug of the knees. Maybe you bring your nose all the way up to your knees, really squeeze everything in tight. And then any final movements you need, we're coming for our final resting pose. Shavasana. If you have a sensitive lower back, I recommend you keeping your knees bent. Soles of the feet grounded down as wide as your mat, and then allow your knees to knock in towards each other like a tent. Otherwise, legs extend, any props, cushions under your head, do what you need. Arms nice and wide away from the body. Let's take a deep breath in all together. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, sigh it out. Feel everything soften down. So if for any reason you're in a rush, just know that we've come up to about the 15-minute mark here. So if you need to carry on with your day, thank you so much for joining me. Move really slow when you're ready to go. Those of you who don't have anywhere to be, please stay in your Shavasana here with me for another few minutes, just allowing the practice to seep into your body. Allowing everything to integrate. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back to anchor, that pause. At the top of the inhale, the bottom of the exhale, you can even give yourself that soft count like we did at the beginning of class if that feels grounding for you. Please stay in your Shavasana for longer if you'd like to. I very much encourage you to stay here for maybe another 10 minutes, even longer. If you are ready to move, start so slowly, teeny tiny movements through fingers and toes. Allow the movement to slowly start to expand into your wrists and your ankles. Really any organic movement that calls out to you as you start to reawaken. I like to take a big stretch as if I'm just waking up for the first time in the morning. And leave your arms up overhead, just draw your knees into your chest and roll over onto your favorite side using your bottom arm as a pillow, top arm comes down in front. Pause here once again. or should I say one final time today, today's class, enjoying this pause. Then whenever you feel ready, there is no rush, use your top hand, press it down into the ground to assist you in coming all the way up to a seated position. Any seated position that feels comfortable for you, nice and tall through your spine. You can keep your eyes closed here. Bring your hands up to a prayer position at your heart center. Gently bow your head down towards your fingertips, bringing your head and your heart closer together. Knowing that this practice of being in the present allows us to live our lives from a space of intuition and love. So I bow to you in so much gratitude for showing up for yourselves, showing up to support each other energetically, to support Banteay Srey project. It has been an absolute pleasure and an honour to guide you. Namaste.